I was just thinking about one particular client that has worked with for years and years. He originally, I first met him in Dubai, and then when he moved back to the UK, I moved back to the UK shortly after, and we ended up half an hour away from each other. So we've continued that face-to-face relationship. But when I first met him in Dubai, he was very much from a working class background, hadn't been in Dubai for too long, didn't have a clue what his pensions were at all, thought he would be working till he was 67. At the time, wasn't a homeowner. The long and short of it is that we looked at his pensions, did a retirement plan for him, and he ended up taking a fairly sizable tax-free lump sum from his pension and bought a villa over in Spain. So he now lives over in Spain where he's retired. It was just through, I didn't do anything miraculous. It was just through planning and helping him understand like what he actually had and what he could afford to do. But ultimately, I say he, husband and wife, but they've now got their villa over in Spain and retired. And when I met them back in Dubai, they thought they'd still be working another 5 years and not owning a home.
There's a recurring theme, isn't there? Is that those clients and those individuals you were referencing, I'm sure are the same as mine. They haven't gone and done anything revolutionary. They haven't won the lottery. They haven't, had any crazy investment returns. They've just done what a lot of people don't do in that overseas offshore market. And when they're expats overseas, is just really doubled down on the opportunity of, okay, I'm living in a tax-free country. I'm now not paying tax. Well, as a family, we're not just going to go and spend that money on, fancy cars, beach clubs and whatever. They've just followed a strict strategy, and through some planning with myself, and I'm sure with your clients, help them understand, right, that money you were paying tax in the UK, whether you're a 20% taxpayer, 40% taxpayer, if we just put that money aside into your pension, into a savings vehicle, we get it invested, it's going to enable you to do what you want, give you the retirement you want. That's as complex as it gets. Plan.
Simple, vanilla financial planning that can work out, but I automatically think of somebody he's probably been a client of mine for 15 years, and when I met him, his kids were still at school in Dubai. Now I'm at a stage where both his kids have graduated, they've got their own jobs. We talk about the mortgage for his daughters and buying their first homes. He's now, he's semi-retired, did a bit of consultancy, now he's fully retired. Literally, every time I speak to him, he's just happy. He's reasonably frugal. I call him tight, but just doesn't waste money on unnecessary things. Will jump on a freebie anytime he can. But as always, that exact scenario that you mentioned, just somebody that's been careful but enjoyed themselves. And now they're in a position where they've got lots and lots of money, which just accumulates over time. If you're reasonably sensible, what seems like a little bit becomes a lot in the future, and has been reasonably sensible in his mid to late 50s now. Bang, healthy, fit, lots of money, plays plenty of golf, exercises, travels for 2 or 3 months of the year, again on a budget, doesn't get carried away with anything. It's the little small things in financial planning that make a big difference as you get nearer and nearer retirement.